Hello again from Cons. It's Nick Roshon. It's the end of day 3. My third attempt at a recap video here. Hopefully I'm getting a little more articulate each one. I certainly feel a little less overwhelmed. Also, I'm taking notes now. I'm only going to go over 2 sessions today, but they were the most profound and most useful sessions I've been to the whole time. The first one was actually hosted by iProspect, and it was about a panel on data and creativity. And actually there was some pretty contentious debate on the role of data in inspiring creative. So on one camp was the data can help drive insights that will create awesome creative and get good brainstorming, and that having data gives you those sort of universal truths that you can build off of for a cool story. On the other camp was that data can get in the way of creative, and that by overanalyzing you're actually kind of minimizing your creative juices and instead just going off data that could be wrong, or you could spend too much time collecting it. So some interesting perspectives there. I think my takeaway from it was data is important and data can help drive a good story, but don't obsess over the data. Don't let it ever get in your way. Understand data's role in the creative process. Data can really come in more handy after to understand, did that creative work? How do we iterate it? How do we build from it? The second part that I think was one of my favorite sessions of the entire week was by IDEO on hacking creative. And the speaker talked about how do we actively generate our brains to be in a creative mindset. So, the traditional ways of doing this is things like prototyping or rapid brainstorming or sort of more traditional ways of that. But he really said it's not just methods you can take to become more creative, it's how do we shift our mindsets. And to be creative, if you're all up in your head and your executive functioning is sort of driving it and you're forcing that creative, it's not going to happen. But if you're able to step outside of your comfort zone, that's really when the creativity strikes. So one really cool example he had is if you fall asleep and you're holding a spoon, the spoon drops the second you fall asleep and it wakes you up. And as you get woken up, you're still in that imaginative state, but your brain's not fully on. And that's when you can be really creative because you're not all up in your head. You're not thinking about, am I being creative enough, or is this the right idea? It's just free-forming. So some cool ideas there on how creativity can be structured by data in the first session, but also don't over-structure your thinking and allow for those random moments, whether you're meditating or running or taking a shower, that the idea can strike, that you can then go back to the office or the studio and take data and make that idea better. So really awesome day, really kind of coming to the forefront of how do we marry digital and performance media to creative and the more above the line sexy advertising you see in TV and film. So that's all for today. I'll tune in again tomorrow. See you then.